We're just getting information into our newsroom that attorneys for Donald Trump opposed the two candidates that the DOJ proposed to be special master. They're declining to give reasons for their objections.
All right, let's go now to Jennifer Rogers, who's a former federal prosecutor and CNN legal analyst. We got Caitlin Polans.
And Jennifer Rogers, look at that.
Let's bring them both in. Let's start with Caitlin with the reporting. What do you know?
Well, today the Trump legal team is coming into court and they're still maintaining this broad view that Donald Trump keeps power over his records from his administration even after he leaves the presidency. So specifically in a new court filing today, Donald Trump's lawyers say he has an absolute right of access to documents, even now, whether or not they are classified, whether or not they were appropriately being kept at Mar-a-Lago after the presidency. So these are pretty bold legal arguments. So this filing from the Trump team really today is about downplaying the alarmism that the Justice Department has expressed in court about national security documents that they now have in the government's hands. And as Trump does in court, he's continuing to try to slow things down. Trump's request here today is asking for his team to review the seized classified records along with a third-party appointee, a special master. We've heard this refrain before. All of this essentially would put on hold the criminal probe the Justice Department is pursuing. But we know from last week in this case, Victor and Allison, the Justice Department wants to move quickly and keep working through this subset of more than 100 documents marked as classified that they removed from Mar-a-Lago last month. So this is the latest request. It's about timing, and it's about who can see these classified documents yet. The judge hasn't responded to this particular back and forth yet.
Okay, Caitlin Polans, thank you very much for explaining all of your new reporting for us. Let's bring in Jennifer Rogers now. So, big shocker. Donald Trump's team doesn't like the proposed special master from the Department of Justice. I could have seen that coming. But here's my question. I understand that they want to freeze the criminal probe. What about the national security damage assessment? Would any judge out there, Jennifer, stop the national security assessment? Because the thought is that people around the country, around the world, could be in danger because of all of this.
So the answer is no. No judge would stop it. But Judge Cannon already allowed for that, right? She already said you can use it as far as the national security assessment goes. You just can't use it for the criminal investigation. What's happened is DOJ came back and said, we can't separate out those two because we need the FBI to help us figure out whether there's any damage here. So now they said, Judge, you got to let us do this side in order to do the other side. And the question is, what does she say to that?
So on the new reporting, you've got the two proposals or two names presented from the DOJ, two from the Trump team. Trump says we don't like the DOJ's proposed. What happens now? Does one team's selections, do they have more weight than the other?
Well, first of all, the notion that Team Trump doesn't want to offend anyone or damage anyone's reputation by making a public filing is silly. I hope and assume the judge will not allow them to make a sealed filing on this. This is a matter of great public interest, and how she chooses the special master is really important to your point. So yeah. I think it needs to be transparent. So the answer is not really. Both sides propose a couple of people. They can make arguments for who they think it should be, but the judge will choose. Now, 3 of the 4 are the types of candidates you would think would be in the mix normally, former federal judges, that sort of thing. So, she has qualified people to choose from. I suspect, given what she's done to date, she will go with one of the Team Trump folks, just to say, once again, she's given him all the procedure and all of the
But
rights
she could choose
expect.
a 5th person who's not on the list at all. Is that possible?
She could, in theory, but I suspect that she won't. I don't know who she would turn to, and these people have, they've put forward qualified names.
Okay, I want to move on to another issue, and that is that Geoffrey Berman, the former U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, is talking about the pressure that he and his office were under from the DOJ under Donald Trump to prosecute President Trump's political enemies. And we didn't know really how the lengths that Team Trump was going to go to get some of his political enemies, such as John Kerry. So here is what Geoffrey Berman, this is in his new book, here's what he said this morning.
President Trump attacks John Kerry in 2 tweets, saying that Kerry engaged in possible illegal conversations with Iranian officials regarding the Iran nuclear deal. The very next day, the Trump Justice Department refers the John Kerry criminal case to the Southern District of New York. 2 tweets by the president, and the John Kerry criminal case becomes a priority for the Department of Justice. And the statute they wanted us to use was enacted in 1799 and had never been successfully prosecuted.
What can you say to that?
Yeah, so it's incredibly disappointing to those of us who are at the Justice Department to see what happened to the Justice Department under Donald Trump and Bill Barr. Bill Barr, I think, claimed he didn't read the president's tweets, and this seems to suggest the contrary. I mean, we knew that they had tried to influence what SDNY and others were doing around the country in terms of criminal prosecutions. I mean, famously in some instances, right, Roger Stone, Michael Flynn, and so on. But the notion that he would say, you should prosecute this person, and then Bill Barr and his folks would send a referral and say, you should prosecute this person. John Kerry, and also in the Greg Craig case, they tried to interfere. It's just goes against everything the Justice Department should be. And I think the damage to the integrity of DOJ from this is we're still feeling it today.
Certainly alarming. Jen Roger, thank you.